The Do This podcast is part of the Win, Make, Give podcast network. Chad Hyams and guest Morgan Peterson discuss innovative real estate marketing strategies. Morgan is a seasoned real estate professional and investor with over 2 decades of experience operating in the Idaho Falls, Idaho market. Listen as Chad and Morgan discuss how to effectively gather client information and use Brivity for follow-up, turning small investments into substantial business growth. Morgan's insights provide valuable lessons for real estate agents seeking creative and effective marketing techniques. We hope you enjoy this episode of the Do This podcast presented by Brivity.
Do this! That's what they tell me, and that's what we're here for, folks. Brivity's Do This webinar. My name's Chad Hyams. Often I'm joined by my friend Bob Stewart. Bob is, I think he's 32,000 feet in the air right now. We didn't get a really good signal. He was on a flight, unable to join us. And folks, you know I actually don't mind that because it gives me the opportunity to really dive in with our guests without having to let Bob ask questions, Bob, whatever. So I'm excited to introduce to you, if you don't know him, Morgan Peterson. He's joining us today. Morgan, I don't read bios. Give everybody who Morgan Peterson is. Where are you? What do you do? What's your history? Go.
Okay. So Morgan Peterson, I'm in the Idaho Falls, Idaho market. We have been using Brivity for over a decade now. And I've been in the real estate business for a couple of decades. Not only real estate, we run a great real estate team with over 12 agents and recruiting and growing. And I also occupy a lot in the real estate investing space. So commercial strip malls, Airbnbs. I have a house in Costa Rica that we Airbnb. And
I think I just saw that go by on Facebook recently.
Yeah, 3 storage unit complexes, and so investing is a main big thing, and a lot of what we'll talk about is our multifamily and kind of what we do that way.
Okay, so you own a lot of real estate investing. Were you born with a silver spoon in your mouth and you had all the money and you were able to just go buy all this? Was somebody in the family just passed it all down to you, or did real estate help you build investing in real estate as a business?
So it's a 50-50 thing. So my dad grew up super conservatively poor. And so the first part of my life, we definitely were poor. I always tell people he was poor and he kind of drugged me down there with him. But he actually, a side note that, you could spend an hour on, he actually invented a candy machine. And he sold and manufactured candy machines, and then he sold that business and he started doing real estate. So I got into real estate and because of him, and I actually went to grab some rent checks from him. I stuck my hand down, and we had a little crappy drop box, and it had a bunch of cash. And I was like, man, how do you do this? I'm the one doing all the work, and you're collecting the checks. And he taught me everything I know about investing and just how to make a dollar work for you. And he was a big, rich dad, poor dad believer. And so that's kind of where we've got it. But since then, I took that and then have compounded it. And once you get that bug, you just start trying to figure out how you can make these dollars work for you.
Yeah, do you go on listing appointments with the mindset of maybe I should buy this?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that that's the beauty of real estate, is because you have the opportunity to make a lot of money, but it's what you do with that money that's going to make you wealthy. And so when you go on these appointments, you should always be thinking like, man, this is a great property, or I could do this with it. And I think you're just always exercising that brain, to be thinking that.
Love it. Okay. This is not at all what we were supposed to be talking about. And this is what I love when Bob doesn't show up. I get to go, oh, let's go this way instead. So Dad taught you a lot of lessons. You've learned even more along the way about real estate investing and the success of it. Teach our audience one lesson that they should walk away from today's episode. Even if they don't do anything else you're going to teach us over today and we're going to share, teach us one thing that we should do to help us become real estate investors at the same level you are?
So the biggest thing that I learned from my father was interest and understanding interest. So one of the things he would always talk about is those who um, don't understand interest pay it, and those who do earn it. And so I think that that's like it's a whole education, and it's a whole mental thing that you have to have an imagination and think and want to explore. But I would say interest and understanding interest, good interest, bad interest, and what you can do with it.
Okay. Folks, you heard it here. Do this. Understand interest,
Yep.
right? We talk about compound interest in the Win, Make, Give Wealth series. Check it out. Go do some research on it yourself. Understand how it's going to help you get where you're going. Okay. So you have a team. How big did you say the team was?
Our team is 12 agents.
12 agents. Okay. What have you and your team been doing recently? I'll let you go back however many months that needs to be for you, that has helped you improve and grow your business.
So, Chad, one thing that I don't ever like is to have a high overhead. I don't
Okay.
like anything that I can't cut and I can't get rid of within 30, 45 days that won't show, that I could get rid of on our next credit card statement or our next P&L. So one of the things that we've done is we don't buy leads. We've never bought Zillow leads. We've never bought these different things. And I know it's kind of hard to see because this is a blacked out hat, but we have our logo on our hats. We have several different style of hats that we've done, and then we have our t-shirts. So our t-shirts, we make we get them for about $10 a piece or a little less.
Yep.
And we probably print off about 1,000 of them a year. So when you think 1,000 shirts, it's a lot, but it's about $10,000, right? And so when you compare that to what Zillow is going to get you, it's completely different. Now, when you talk about an ROI, so how we do this, Chad, is there's several different strategies that we have. So one of the strategies that's the easiest strategy that somebody could implement is you go to your school, your local high school. The one that's in our area happens to be the best in state at football. And so there's a buzz around this, school and team spirit. So what we'll do is we'll go and we'll make, say, 300 shirts, and we'll put the logo of the school on the front, and we'll do a really cool one. And we'll do like the slogan of like the football team, of that year, the mantra. And then on the back, we put our logo huge. And so what's great about that is it gives you a lot of connections that you can talk to people, right? And so as you're talking to people, you're giving them shirts, you're asking them for referrals, you're asking them for testimonials and things like that, Google reviews, and you're just able to get your name out there. Now, the other thing is you when you give somebody something, they feel obligated to give you something back, right? So we give them shirts and we're talking to them. They'll wear them on the front, and sometimes it seems like they forget that our logo is on the back. And so then the branding is just unbelievable. So if you can imagine a stadium where people are wearing 300-400, of our shirts just walking around, it's a pretty cool thing. But then after that, they kind of know that the rite of passage is to give you a referral or send you some business. And it only takes one of those deals or one of those referrals that, 10X is that investment.
Okay. So we've talked to a lot of people, and every now and then someone brings something to the Do This webinar. And folks, if you're not going back and watching them, you should be. Okay. Someone brings something that Bob calls his duh moment. Right? It's like, duh, why doesn't everybody do that? $10 investment to get referrals, branding, to get recommendations on Google. Folks, you'd pay $10 all day to get that sort of stuff. And that's what it's costing you for sure. You're just saying, hey, yeah, we're going to do $10,000 at once. That's our marketing budget. And we're going to hand these out. Do you trade? Is it like, want a shirt, fill in this form? Or are you capturing emails and stuff like that as you're getting or are you just standing there throwing shirts out to everybody left, right, and center just so people wear them?
So that's the thing, is we don't give away free stuff. We're not in the market to give away free stuff. And so what we'll do is you do give it away with a purpose. Hey, Chad. Hey, man, thank you so much for supporting my business. I love that you love these shirts, and I appreciate you. What sizes is it that you need for your family? Oh, okay. So Chad Hyams, he needs a large, he needs a medium, he needs a small. Okay, cool. Well, Chad, I want to invite you to our client appreciation events too, and it might be a little bit easier to streamline to get you the shirts next time. What's your email? And then you're building upon that. And so the next time we have shirts or next time we're doing things, I necessarily won't even call you. I can just email you and say, hey, we have shirts again. And so then now you're calling me and coming into the office, and then it's an easier deliver, and it takes a lot less time.
So they're coming to pick the shirt up. You're never giving away the shirt. You're giving them the opportunity to get on the list for the next batch of shirts you're going to order. And then you're making them come to you to get the shirt.
Correct. So on that, so then, you're busy, and, Chad, you bugger, you didn't email or you didn't call or anything. So I'll text you, or I don't love texting. I'll just call you and say, hey, Chad, I don't know if you got our email. It could have went to your spam. I sure hope not. But I wanted you to know we got these shirts. Did you see that? And most of the time they're like, no, I had no clue. I'm like, okay, well, make sure you check those emails. And but would you like a new shirt? Are you still a large? And is that what you would like? And then you invite them in. And
brilliant,
it works
right?
really, really well.
Only thing I'd add to that at all is I said, we're going to send you a new email. We just need you to reply to the email. So that way now I'm getting into their inbox again.
Yeah.
And now Google or whoever they're using is seeing they've replied to something from my email address. So I'm more likely to not go into their spam filter next time, because you're going to keep dripping on them, I have to imagine. That is brilliant, folks. Go find your school. Figure out what they're doing, whether it's a big event they've got going you want to support, whether it's a football team, whether it's another sporting team, your logo on the back, and boy, people will be wearing your name everywhere without even remembering that they're doing it. So everybody keeps seeing it. That's amazing thinking.
And we do it pretty, like we strategically do it. So if your team's good at basketball, we're going to contact your school and say, hey, can we sponsor a night and be a part of it? And maybe we'll do a presentation at halftime. Or we might just say, forget that. And we might just stand out in the hallway as people are, buying things and giving them free shirts. Nobody's going to run you out of a high school for giving somebody a nice shirt. And that's the other thing. So it's $10 because it's the nice next level or the new era brands or things like that. That it's the nicest shirt that most of the guys in Idaho Falls are going to wear. It's just that, like, they just wear it. And then they don't just wear it on game days, they wear it to practice, or the kids are wearing them to practice, or they're wearing them to school. And so it's just the brand awareness has been amazing. The second part is the schools that definitely most fun and everybody loves you for, supporting the school and hooking the school up. The second thing that we do that works really well is we just do pop buys. So like this is just a Morgan Peterson team shirt. And so what we'll do is I'll just show up to your office and I'll be like, hey, Chad, and say it has, no school related. This is completely different, but I'll just say, hey, thank you for being a friend and supporting my team. And we got these new shirts. I think they're kind of cool. I thought that you would like them. If you know of anybody looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, would you mind giving me a call so I can, contact them and give them the best service that we can possibly give them? And we give them a shirt, and they're always, heck yeah, man, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I love your shirts. And those pop buys, so it's $10, right? Or we'll do a shirt and a hat. And so to combine, that's $25. And when you times that, by 100, you're looking at $2,500. If you make 100 pop buys a month, you're going to be getting referrals for $2,500 a month. Versus how much is $2,500 a month in Zillow going to get you? And so it's way different. The other thing is the connection that you and I are going to have is way better, right? So when I get a referral from you, it's an incredible thing, right? It's about as hot of a lead as what you're going to get. They're going to treat me with more grace. If something bad happens on a transaction, it's going to be like, hey, no, I totally get it. They're not going to be like, no, you're going to buy me a new fridge, or you're going to fix that, or you're going to, it's just a way better experience, and just, I feel like, a more relaxed way to run a business.
I love this. When was the last time you saw another realtor in town wearing one of your shirts, whether it was knowingly or unknowingly?
So realtors hate it, and they won't wear them. But what's awesome is when you give them to the high school. So we just gave them out, 100 for the varsity and the JV team, right, for the football. Well, there's 3 agents that their kids are on the team. And so if the coach is like, hey, everybody's going to wear your t-shirts with your sweats, I get a lot of calls from agents that are like, what the hell? Like, this is complete BS, and they laugh about it. The other ones just stay pissed. And so it actually happens more. I get a lot of pictures of, from living rooms of kids watching TV, and another agent will take a picture and be like, my hell, like, he loves this shirt. And now and so they're the ones that are good sports are pretty funny. The ones that aren't, you hear the backlash from other people.
Folks, you're doing it right when you are pissing off the competition like that. Okay. That's when you're doing it right. Okay. So you're getting their email, you're getting them the shirts. I'm assuming, I know what that word means, yet I'm going to make an assumption that Bob Stewart has one of your hats. Like, if Bob were on the call, he'd be wearing one of your hats, because you've probably sent him one. And if not, Morgan, we need to get you Bob's address, because he has about 800 and some odd hats.
We'll send him some. The problem is ours are snapbacks, and I know.
Oh yeah, he won't wear it. He'll put it in the closet and be like, all right, I have it for the one time I see Morgan. All right, Bob's picky about his hats. Yet, all right, you put their information into Brivity now.
Yep.
How are you using Brivity with the information you've gathered to improve your business, your follow-up methods, whatever it is? How are you using the tool we're here to talk about on top of the amazing marketing plan you already have?
Great question. So now you're able to, when I have their emails, I'm just not, again, my goal isn't just to be the guy that gives out free shirts, right? So now we are sending market reports. We're sending out, CMAs, once a year for your home. We're sending out invites to our client appreciation events, 4 or 5 times a year. There's all of these things that we're able to do once we have their information. And the idea is just to be the top of mind, and they love us because we're giving them shirts, we're giving them information, and we're pulling them in. And so then we get calls all the time. It makes your lead generation or your follow-ups easier, because I can call and say, hey, Chad, it's been a little while. Last time I talked to you is when you grabbed that shirt or the client appreciation event. I was just curious, do you have any questions about the real estate market right now? And then you can just dive into it. And so when you ask somebody questions, a lot of times we wait for people to ask us questions about the market. But if you just ask somebody, do you have any questions about the real estate market? You're the expert, and you're trying to help them. And usually we'll just pick one thing. A lot of times people will have their own question. They'll say, well, is home prices falling? And then it gives you an opportunity to go into what it is, the information that you know about that.
Okay. So folks, we're learning. Look, I don't even know what the notes say I was supposed to talk about. Someone told me it was something about land or something. We're talking investing to help you, right? Understand interest is what Morgan's already said. We're talking a brilliant marketing idea. I had no idea getting into this call. I love it. I'm so tempted to go take my logo and put it on the back of a shirt just to get people, just to get it out there, right? I've always known, how do I just get it out there? Brilliant, right? School on the front or whatever event or community or organization, because those kids are going to love it, which means their parents are going to be looking at your logo on the back all day long. And some parents will absolutely love it. It'll become their favorite, wash the car shirt or hanging out shirt or whatever that is. The idea is mind share and having them see your logo again and again and again. And folks, make sure, as Morgan has said, you're doing it right. You're gathering something for it. You're giving. They're going to be more willing to give you their email address, phone number, so you can put them in the system, so you can get them a shirt, or you can keep them up to date on new shirts that are coming. And then, of course, throw the real estate stuff in using Brivity. So, Morgan, keep us going. We still got some time.
Okay, so two quick things. One, essentially, you're buying yourself a lead for $10 for a shirt.
What would you say? You're saying for $10. It's not $10 because you and I both know not every shirt brings you a referral. What would you say your approximate return on investment actually is? Could you ballpark it? How many shirts get you a referral?
So I would say every 100 shirts is $1,000. I would say you get, over time 2 or 3, but it depends, just like any lead. How often are you calling? How are you asking? How are you nurturing that lead? So really,
and that's where Brivity comes in with the market reports, the listing alerts, the you putting tasks to remember to reach out and call them, things like that. That's helping you continue to nurture those 100 shirts you gave away so that you get the 3 referrals out of it.
And so that's the thing. So you're getting contacts, right? So you're getting contacts, and so then you're getting, leads. So say if you're doing contacts, you're paying $10 a contact.
Yep.
Which eventually, if you do it right, a 32 touch, you're gonna get several leads out of that 100, people. The second thing is like, it's just, you can manage it. If you don't want to do shirts, if you don't want to do that school, you don't have to. The one thing I was going to tell you that you just got to get creative with is there was a district basketball game, and it was whoever was going to win this it was the 2 biggest teams, and whoever was going to win it was going to go for the district championship. So not state championship, but these 2 great teams fell in the same playoff. So we did all these shirts, and we have them on our Instagram page. It's the Morgan Peterson team, but one looked like a chain, and then it had an R hanging off of it, right? And so that was for the town Rigby. And then on the back we had our logo. And then on the other team we did like this other design on the front, and it was red, and then our logo was on the back. Both schools liked the shirt so much that their basketball players wore them in warm-ups.
So you basically sponsored warm up because everybody was wearing your logo on both teams.
So they're wearing their pants and they're wearing our shirt, and they are, throwing down windmills, and everybody's loving it. And the crowd's wearing the same shirts that they're wearing. And then, the best thing is when you run out of shirts, because then you're like, oh, I don't have them. Let me get your contact information. And so then now you're getting a contact information at that point for nothing. And, but that was crazy. So then the schools, everybody's filming or reposting, or there's hype videos, and there's our logo constantly, going through there. So it's making different reels or, streams on social media.
Brilliant, right? I mean, folks, that's brilliant. Right? How would you like to have the Lakers and the Celtics warming up before the big basketball game, and both of them are wearing your logo on the back of their shirt? In smaller towns, that's basically what that is. It equates to it when the smaller towns get into their teams, that it's everywhere and you're doing it. And I love that it was a different design. So from the front, I'm supporting this team or I'm supporting this team, yet from the back, we're all supporting you. And then some of those people were taking those shirts, obviously, back to their area, which was close enough that you would work it, I'm assuming, yet now you don't have to market into it. Okay, so you're saying that 100 shirts on average, not holding you to it, on average is 2 to 3 deals if you're doing your job, and you're paying $10 a shirt. So for $1,000 over time, you're getting 3, maybe 4 or 5 but you're getting 3 closings that are coming directly from that, What's your average sales price?
Our average sales price around here is real close to about $450.
Okay, so I'm just going to say your average commission is 10,000 ish, maybe above that, obviously, without getting in any commission. Folks, $1,000 investment for a $30,000 return. If there's anybody listening to this webinar that would not write me a check for $1,000 right now to know I'm going to give you $30,000 back, you're on the wrong webinar.
And so on that, everybody loves it though, because it's more directions than just lead generation, right? So you're getting, I mean, people really appreciate it, and you're gifting something. So you're making it an emotional thing. So if you're putting that on Zillow, no one outside the real estate space knows who's posting on Zillow, how much ad spends are. None of my friends or family know anything about Zillow, right? But they know who's giving them shirts. And when they're at a football game, we've been at football games, do you sit in front of the coaches or behind the coaches? You sit behind them, right? So if they're wearing our swag and they're walking back and forth, it's pretty much an endorsement, right? And so when I come to your house, Chad, and you don't know Morgan, right? But I sit down and I show you I put down and I have our folder down there, and I'm wearing a branded shirt or things like that. In their head, in my mind, it's like, this is a safe place. This is a safe guy. This is not the first time I've ever seen this, logo before. And
it's a billboard in town without you having to spend the thousands and thousands of dollars for a billboard, because everyone's walking around wearing it like a billboard.
100%. And so now everyone knows exactly who we are. Swag is the best thing you can do for branding. And it's actually, it doesn't have to be that expensive. And, if anybody wants to reach out, I have a really good guy local, and he ships shirts. And
show the shirt again. Stand up a little for us.
So I'll show you. And we have a bunch.
I was going to say, how many different shirts do you think you've done over the time?
We've done. And then here's another hat that we have that's
easy to get done. Folks, there are 100 websites that will print these things on decent quality. If you want to reach out to Morgan, give them the best way to reach out to you.
So my Instagram's probably the best. It's Peterson MO9. And just say, put in Brivity or something like that, so I know that you're a real person. How many shirts we do, or how many styles have we done?
Yeah, I mean, how many have you done? How long have you been doing this now?
I've been doing this for almost 10 years.
Okay. So every year you do at least a different shirt, because you said
I bet you we have about, with schools and everything, I bet you we have about 70, 75.
Okay. And
it's one of the things that I wear, and then my friends will always say, or their wives are always like, dude, all he does is wear your shirts. Like, right. He doesn't have to go shopping. He just wears your shirts. And it's pretty funny how slick it works.
It's brilliant. Do you still see people walking around wearing the shirt from 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago because they still have them?
Absolutely. So the third thought, I guess, I have of the way that we have it for strategy is 4th of July. So remember when, like, maybe your Chad, maybe your wife's nicer than mine, but my wife used to make us dress in like Old Navy shirts or, stupid stuff like that. So we have all these different designs that we've done for 4th of July shirts, right? So everyone's outside. Everyone has to wear a 4th of July shirt. And so we'll do 400 4th of July shirts, and we'll do them in all, colors, some red, some blue. We've done a lot of different logos, of that, with our logo there, small in the front and then huge in the back. And we see those every year, different styles, different patterns all over the place. And it really, like, it's crazy on how far they go. One year we did one it was crazy. It was a Superman logo on the front. It was American flag with our logo in the middle. And I thought it was, I thought it was okay. I thought it was we had people like coming in, probably 10 people, the end of June to get their 4th of July shirts, and they're wearing them camping. They're wearing them wherever they go. Yeah.
Brilliant, right? Folks, do a 4th of July one. Do an ugly Christmas shirt, right? Something like that. Do a Thanksgiving shirt. Do a Valentine's shirt. They'll be wearing them year after year. They'll pull the same shirt out, or they'll come see us. They're a new model of a new shirt. Folks, just make sure, as Morgan has shared with us, you're getting their contact information. That's the price of the shirt. And then you're using the tool like Brivity to its full extent so that you see the return on investment. Morgan, love that. That's something I'm going to figure out how I can do this and find value in adding shirts to people around me. Folks, if you want to connect with Morgan, it's Peterson MO9 on Instagram. Go find him there. He's got more to share with you. He'll be happy to do it. We want to respect your time and keep you guys on and moving with whatever you got. Morgan, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
I appreciate everything you shared with us all today.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
You got it. Guys, next week, personal friend of mine is going to be joining us as a guest. You don't want to miss the fun we're going to have. See you then.